think I think we have admitted everyone to the call. So bear with me. I will get everything set up here shortly and we'll get started. All right. So this is the May CRM Chat. Uh, my name is Courtney Vance, and I am a project manager here at CKC Consulting. Um, just some general guidelines. This is just an open discussion. So if possible, please keep your video and mic on so you can participate. And participation is encouraged. And today we are going to be talking about generative AI. And here's a couple of resources, which I will drop these into the chat here shortly, if you haven't already seen them in your email. So before we get started, we are going to actually go around and introduce ourselves. We're going to give our name, our company location, company location, as well as our how familiar we are with generative AI, where we're at in our generative AI journey. And I'm just going to go ahead and get some things in here. So I did a little bit of pre-work for the call. I used generative AI to come up with some kind of fun titles to describe where we're at with our generative AI journey, and I'm just going to drop them in now. But feel free, if you're already using generative AI, to come up with your own. These are just some suggestions. And then I'm going to drop in one of these links as well to the chat. Okay, so again, my name is Courtney Vance. I'm a senior project manager here at CKC Consulting. I'm so glad that everybody's here with us today. I'm originally from Houston, but I live in North Texas now. And I would say I am an algorithmic artist when it comes to generative AI. I've been using it for a while. I feel pretty comfortable with it. So again, if you want to go around, and I'll just call on the first person that I that I see, and I will go with Kristen.
Can you hear me? Wow.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, my name is Kristen Couts, and I'm with Jam Idea Agency, and I am an AI guru. I also I attend as many things as I can, and I cannot wait to have this discussion. And I have to just ask really quickly, is Catherine Haran my Catherine Haran from Philo Wilkie?
Yes,
Maybe.
ma'am, that's me.
I
Hi there.
Hi, my friend. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Yourself?
Good. I'm great. Great. I have not seen her for a really long time and I saw her name and I just thought, is that mine? My
Yep,
Kathy? Yes.
that's me.
Yes. Okay, good. Nice to hear you.
Yeah, it's
So I'll go
so
next, I guess.
yes.
Yeah,
I was just about
I'm
to call you.
Kathy Horan. I've been with Philo Wilkie a long time. Kristen and I go back many years ago. But I don't know much about AI, to be honest with you. I'm kind of just getting into it and learning about it. So I don't know that I'll probably just be listening in more than anything. And we've been working with Courtney, our company, to integrate our Uninet system into CRM. So we are in the midst of that battle right now. Just got fully integrated and coming on the backside of it. So I'm super interested in to see what AI can do to help us along.
Excellent. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, so
Mhm.
next on my list, I'm going to go with Kim Spence.
I'm having trouble with my computer. Sorry.
All good. All right, we'll come back. So I will go with Terry.
Hi. I guess I would consider myself an AI explorer. I don't really know much about it other than Chat GTP, and we just activated the AI function in Open Asset, and that's pretty much it for me.
Excellent. Okay, let's go with Chance.
Hi, my name's Chance Medlock. I'm a business development coordinator at Park Hill. We are an AEC firm in Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. And at the top of that list, it starts to get a little subjective and hard to choose, but I would say I'm an algorithmic artist. I try to use it. I use AI in my personal and professional life in just about every area I can, and I try to find new tasks daily.
Can't figure out how to get it to include
I
this room. Yeah.
excited to hear what everybody else has to contribute.
Excellent. Okay, I'm going to go with Erica.
Hi, everybody. I'm the Marcom manager at CKC. And I'm gonna say I like your list here, C Vance. I'm gonna go with generative guru and training because that sounds it's a little aspirational, but yeah, we're working on using generative AI more and more and like looking for ways that it can help us. So I'm eager to get some ideas.
Yeah, great. And then, of course, Courtney Kearney.
Hi, everybody. I'm Courtney Kearney, founder and owner of C Kearney Consulting. I'm excited to be in the passenger seat today and watch Courtney facilitate, which is exciting. I did ask if I could be here because I know that sometimes that makes people nervous. So I love to be a part of these discussions like Kristen and be a fly on the wall. And it's great to see so many new faces and also familiar faces. For those that this is your first CRM chat, welcome. We are excited to have you. And for those who are returning, thank you for coming back and having this conversation. As far as where I'm at in my AI journey, I think I feel like I have a good spot, and then I do research and I'm like, nope, back at square one. So I feel like it is a bullet train that I'm just holding on for dear life. So that's kind of how I would describe my AI journey at the moment.
Excellent. Thank you. Jeremy.
Hey, everybody. So I'm Jeremy Richard. I'm Director of Business Development with Design West Engineering, originally from Southern California. Now I'm in Seattle area. And where am I at? Somewhere between, I would say, explorer, apprentice. I resonate with what Courtney's saying. Like, I think it's a really fun topic. It's fun to explore all the tools that are popping up, and it's massive. It's so hard to a lot to explore. So yeah, always interested in learning more about the subject. And there's a few ways that we've been using it, as far as the company, but not a lot at this point that's really a standardized practice or anything. So it's still very much the learning phase. So
Sure.
that's it.
Thank you. Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Neely. I'm also at Park Hill. I work alongside Chance. We're both business development coordinators, and I would say I'm probably maybe just a little bit behind him, but I also use it every single day as much as I can. So excited to see how everyone else uses it as well.
Excellent. And then Tanya.
Yeah, hi, I'm Tanya Gross. I am the marketing manager with Somas. We're located in Roseville, California, and I'm probably more of a novice, just played around with AI a little bit, but I know there's way too much to learn. So I'd like to hear everything that the group hits on today.
Yeah. Lacey. Oh, you
Sorry about that. I'm with Beckenhauer Construction. We're a construction management firm in Nebraska, South Dakota, and Iowa. And I'm going to classify myself as an apprentice solely because there are ways in which I was using it that I didn't even realize were technically AI. So I guess we'll go with that.
Yeah, great answer. Noel.
Hey everyone, I'm Noel. I'm one of the founders here at Project Mark. We're actually CRM built for construction companies. Obviously been learning a lot from the CKC folks for a long time, and we're obviously in the early stages of our own AI journey, especially in CRM as well. My background is in construction as well, But really eager to see what you guys have for us today. They're always good events.
Yeah. Great. And then Megan Young.
Hi there. I'm the marketing manager at Guidon. We're an AE firm in Indianapolis. And I have endured several hours of training in AI, and I feel like I'm pretty proficient at it, but still learning things and gobbling it up every day. So
Excellent. And then last but not least, Jen.
She's having a coughing fit, so we can skip her.
No problem. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I heard that many of you are using it and feel pretty comfortable using it. So I'm really interested to open up the conversation to see, how you guys are using it. Are you using it professionally, personally, both? Would anybody like to volunteer a story of how they're using generative AI? All right. Well, I will open up. I'll actually share that I use it at work, and this is something that we got, client consent to do. But the story is that I was given this massive data entry project. It's this huge, they have all these master resumes. Excuse me one second. And they needed to get these master resumes that are in Word format into their CRM. And initially we started off just doing it manually. And then we had the thought, well, why don't we try to use generative AI to speed this up? Because some of these resumes are 40 pages long. It is taking forever. To give you an idea, I was doing about 5 per month, which is what my workload would allow. So once we got consent, we actually did use, we have a purchase license for Copilot. We checked, every time we use it, we check to make sure, what the security parameters are, but we're just using it verbatim. We're just saying, here's an example of the content. Here's the format that I want. I'm going to give you a test, so that I can see that you understand the instructions. And I want you to reformat it, these segments of text, and I want you to separate them with vertical bar separators. So that way I can take the content, put it in Excel, and then use text to columns to break them apart to prep for import. It sped it up so much faster. At that point, I had about 30 resumes left, and I wrapped them all up in 2 months, which if you're taking about, 5 resumes a month, that's less than half of the time it would have taken me to go manually. Anyone else using generative AI for work or personal, any kind of cases they'd like to share?
I feel this is a load. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so Rebecca and I are tasked with our roles are new at our company, and we've never had a team specifically dedicated with tackling CRM and the systems and processes. So one thing we use it for is to check against, we have an enterprise account for GPT. And so we were able to give it our voice and brand and style guidelines, and anything we generate, we can check against it, and it'll kind of word whatever we write into our company vernacular, and we use that and kind of edit that to build all of our handbooks and guides. And it sped up our process a lot because I was able to just give it notes and past examples of things we had already done, and it kind of learned over time how to do that fairly quickly for us.
That's really cool. Anyone else?
I was going to say it's a loaded question for me because I use it for absolutely everything. So it's like hard to narrow down what I don't use it for at the moment. But if you're looking for very specific case studies, the ones I probably have about 25 tools that I use on a daily, weekly basis. But the ones I'll tell the group is I use an AI calendar. It moves things around, task lists in my calendar, and I can explain that in more in depth if you want me to, but I use an AI calendar. It's called Motion. I actually don't like ever doing timesheets. And I thought that when I became my own consultant that I would never have to do timesheets again, but we know that's not true. So I actually use a AI tool called MemTime that does helps me with my timesheets and tracking of time. And the other one that I really, really adore is called My Mind. And it is an AI, there's lots of AI tools out there that are like this, but it is an app on my phone and a website. And because I do so much research, probably like Courtney, the two Courtneys, and when I find something, I just put that image or quote or text or website into my mind, and it can create a repository that AI can search with no limitation. So I don't have to put it into a folder. I don't even have to tag the stuff myself. The AI automatically tags it. So it's like my brain, but so much better. And it's truly unbelievable. So those are just, I mean, I could go on all day, but this is not my seminar. So.
These are great examples. Thanks, Kristen.
I have the ChatGPT Plus version personally, and I use it a lot for, we do federal solicitations. And because those are public, I can upload the solicitation to ChatGPT and distill the scope of work or turn it into a compliance checklist pretty quickly. And I also used it personally to help me study for my CPSM exam. I used the information that was given to me from study groups as a way to search for things quickly and not have to reread or find like which book said what, because there are 6 books used to study for that. So it helped cut down on my last minute prep time.
I love that, Megan. Thank you. I definitely have had in the world of AI, like I like that Courtney, you keep saying generative AI, like that kind of helps narrow things down because we all know AI has been around forever. Like spell check on your phone is AI, right? Like AI has been around for so long. So I like the narrowing it down to Gen AI. But some conversation I've been having lately is I feel like we're on 2 different paths when we're having this conversation. So one of which is like the text and data. And it sounds like that's the conversation we're having. And then the other path is imagery and that kind of thing, because those are 2 very different paths that you're on. I think that there's some overlap for sure. But how you talk to the chatbots is different when you want imagery out of them in a way. And, you know, some of the tools that you're going to use, like Kristen mentioned, like, you know, the tools might be different if you're going to go video or images and that kind of thing, versus text and data. And I have ChatGPT on my phone, and I forget if I mean, my feed is so intertwined with personal and professional of like looking back at my feed that it's all kind of in the same realm of how I'm using it and how easily it's integrated into my life. So it's hard for me to come up with tangible examples to remember that I've used it. And I can't remember who said it in their intro of like, I actually might be further along than I thought because I've been using it longer than, and I would love to know what that wake up moment was of like, oh my gosh, I've been using this and forgot or didn't know. Cause I think I have a hard time discerning that too, because it's so integrated.
That wake up moment actually happened at MVRC because of all the conversations going on. I was like, oh, I've actually used it for those things. And I didn't even realize, like, really, that's what it is.
Has anybody spoken to ChatGPT? You know, the way on the application now you can create like an agent, you can give it a voice and you can have a conversation with it. It's absolutely wild. I every now and then I'll pick up my phone and be like, I'll just have a conversation with it and see what it says.
Truthfully, it kind of creeped me out how natural sounding, but also not natural sounding it sounded. So I turned it off. Honestly, that did just creep me out.
I find it wild.
I love it. I talk to it almost every night. And mine is currently, I think, the Cove voice, and it sounds like Tom Hiddleston. So that's just fine with me.
I love that. And I love that it has come into personal space too, of like, and it has identified comfort level of what you're comfortable with, right? Like OpenAI did get a body in form in a robotics form. And I learned that I am not comfortable with robots who stand like this. I feel like this is aggressive and I want it to stand like this in its resting position. I did not know that before I watched the video. So I'm learning too, Chance, of like what I'm comfortable with and what I'm not comfortable with. I think Erica, you were on our team when we watched it. We were like, don't turn your back. It's still speaking. Don't be rude to the robot that might kill you. Don't do that. Like, what are you doing? So it's funny how like it has churned some like what is your comfort level interaction with it.
I definitely always make sure I'm talking nicely to, to the AI bot because you never know. Like, I just want to be on good terms.
I like to think it'll be able to one day see that I was in on the ground floor, and for all 3 years I told you please and thank you. So spare me.
Yeah. We're buds. We're
Give
good.
me a
All
higher
good.
score. Yeah, we
There
have
are-
go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, just on that topic of being nice to the AI, there's a couple of podcasts out there. I don't know if anyone follows Stephen Bartlett, the Diary of a CEO guy, but he's brought on two ex-Google guys. One, the CEO of DeepMind, the AI arm of Google, and then another guy who was one of the first people in there. But both of their perspectives are very dystopian, and it's really, really interesting, but it's also scary at the same time. So if anyone's interested at all, they're really good listens. They're about 90 minutes long. And it's just, for me, I had a very limited knowledge of AI, and this guy's telling a little bit about the history, but also how it's advancing so quickly and where it can ultimately go. So I'd recommend, I'll actually drop it in the chat here if people want to, if I can do that, I can, yeah.
Yeah, I was Googling fast enough. So I think I found it, but I'll send it to you first and then can drop it.
Yeah. So for those of us that are using it regularly at work, are you, I'm going to call them recipes. Are you creating recipes for how you're interacting with your AI bot, tracking, okay, this works, this didn't work, this, and refining it along the way? What's your process like when you are coming up with your prompts and interacting with AI?
I can answer to that. In ChatGPT, I'm not sure about like Copilot. I've used the free version. It is baked into our software, but we don't have the full feature account. But in GPT, instead of just giving it altered instructions, you can now talk to it conversationally and just say like, "Hey, you're doing this thing I don't like," or "I'd prefer it if every time you did this." So I've been utilizing that a lot. But also, what has helped me is to, instead of trying to fix that bot, is take outputs that I did like from it that had minor things I didn't like and train a new bot based off those outputs, and then just say like, hey, these are the three things that always happen I don't like. And then that new bot tends to never fail at that task. And GPT is pretty good about, if you can tell it beforehand, hey, I'm giving you outputs you created. Here's what I don't like about them. It seems like it hallucinates lots for some reason.
So I have a question on that. Are you saying that you use a custom GPT to train that, and that's what you're referring to as a bot?
Yeah, so I use custom GPTs for just about everything I do in GPT now. I didn't in the beginning, but now I find it's way more accurate, and I get a result that I want out of it much quicker if I just tell it to do that specific thing, and then when it doesn't, have it retrain itself. And then eventually it gets to like a 75% accuracy, I would say. Then I'll take a few of those outputs, create a completely new one, and say, hey, I created you to do this, but I want you to take these outputs and stop doing XYZ. And then that version usually is like very good at what you're asking it to do.
Okay, so you're just tweaking the instructions every time that you need something different out of it. Not like
Yeah, and then when you have enough outputs, like let's say 15, then it has enough context that you can just give it those 15 outputs in like a Word document and say like, here's what I didn't like about that. And it'll rewrite all the instructions again. But I also do it for like crazy stuff. Like I have a draft bot that I call it that reads all my emails before I send them to, and it gives me a summary at the end of what the person reading it might take away from what I've said, or just a billion different things. So I just find that it's easier, instead of like reprompting it every time, to just train a new GPT based off what you didn't like from that one.
That's fascinating. How many people on the call by raise of hand are playing with custom GPTs? Like have built one, playing with one? I like it. Okay. Thank you. For those who are, do you want to share like what you created in your custom or how you're using some of your custom stuff?
I'll go. So I probably built around Chance. I don't know how many you've built. And in fact, when I was giving a class, somebody was like, how many is too many? And I'm like, that's not even a question. Like you can build.
Limit does not exist.
The limit does not exist. I probably built about 20. Some are demos for other people. I built a couple actually for clients. I just created a proposal helper for a client who had no idea that, they could upload. And again, remember, like a plus version, and I have the Teams version, and Chance mentioned that he has the enterprise version, which means that there is an extra layer of security around this onion. I don't just upload client proposals. So it's built secure. I did not publish it to the GPT store. It is a link that I just share with her so she knows what we can do. But for me, I actually built our CRM in it, Courtney. I'm sorry.
No, I'm curious to see how.
Who I was talking to. It's very small. We don't have a CRM. Okay. So one day when we're big enough and we have to hire you for our CRM, that's something completely different. But I've built a CRM. I've built a proposal writer for myself. And much like Chance did in his enterprise version, I like to write. I think I'm a pretty good writer, and I've trained one of my GPTs to write like myself. So I copy and pasted a lot of my own writing into the knowledge base so that it could learn. And Chance, like you, when it gives me something and I don't like it, usually it's user error for me. I've given it something that I didn't mean to tell it to do. So I'll go back and reiterate my own instructions on the GPT rather than start over. But I have found, that's just me. I found I can refine a GPT that I've made. I created a business development one out there. Just like Chance mentioned, the possibilities are endless. Chance, the other thing I wanted to mention is what I found really early on. I would create something and it was not giving me what I wanted, and I was really upset with it, right? And then I took Courtney's advice and I was like, no, it's my coworker. Just calm down, Kristen, like give it a chance. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like there's something legitimate about it because I gave it, so I built an Excel spreadsheet, Notion site with all of my tools on it, right? It's like 3,000 tools. So I've uploaded that into a GPT, and then I would ask it questions and it wouldn't give me back the right stuff. And I just thought, well, this is, annoying. And then I gave it a couple of days, and then I went back to it like a week or two later, and then it was better. And so I don't know. I think that we also give AI, I give it a lot of credit, and I'm like, it's going to be instantaneous that it's going to learn stuff. But the truth is, lots of people are using OpenAI. Lots of people are using ChatGPT. We're all using the same kind of resources on the back end of it. And I felt like I gave it a couple weeks and it digested the information better. And now it's almost, Chance, I would say my GPT's hallucination rate is down to almost nothing at the moment. And especially because I turned off web search, like it can only look at my knowledge base. But yeah, I'm just saying that the possibilities are building whatever you need to build. Like it's worth the $20, everybody. Go get it.
Fantastic tips and ideas. Thank you. Anyone else want to share insights into uses, how they're modifying their prompts before we move on?
We are at the top of the hour, Courtney.
Ooh,
so I know it went by super fast, super fast.
It did. Well, thank you everyone for joining. There was so much valuable discussion today. I'm so excited that you all could be a part of it and look forward to upcoming sessions.
And this is such a hot topic, and there is, like I said, we're on a speed train and there is so much to discuss. Even if we just stay in the text and AI or this text and data discussion or lane, there's still so much. So we're going to do a summer series like iterative parts because there's just so much discussion. So be on the lookout for the information on that, and be on the lookout for more of these chat discussions around this topic. So thank you so much for participating.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.